Joining us this weekend for weather is Matt Griffin with BAM Weather. Matt, the shot of cold air earlier this week, it was brutal, even impacting fruit growers in the south. Thankfully, it was short-lived, but is this a hint of what's to come this winter?
You know, I actually think it might be here in the forecast into December. I think it could be one to remember, especially considering some of the last winters haven't been particularly too cold, especially a lot of areas of the Midwest and Northeast here. But this winter's different here, and I want to explain why I think it is different. We take a look at some of the maps here. You could see the next 2 weeks doesn't particularly look a whole lot like winter, I'd say. These are temperature anomalies here. You can see kind of through the 19th on the left and then through November 20th through the 26th on the right. There's a lot of red showing up there, warmer temperatures here. It'll be cooler, I think, into the northeast, and I think if there's anything kind of into that November 18th, 24th timeframe, may see a little bit of some cooler trends into the Great Lakes here. But regardless, it is a warmer look, but things start to turn it later as we head into late November and December. I'll touch on that here in just a moment. Now, in the meantime, if we take a look at the precipitation here, that'll gradually start to pick up. I think there'll be a few disturbances from, say, northeastern Texas into the Ohio Valley in particular. I wouldn't be shocked there's even some heavier rain kind of embedded in there as well. But look at the precipitation anomaly into November 20th and 26th. It is absolutely loaded with rain, and I do think this will be a time frame that will feature lots of rain. I think a lot of this is rain, but if you're kind of more into the northern plains, I do think there could be some snow that mixes in at times here as well. So the pattern starts to get active here moving forward. But what's really interesting that's happening, at least up in the atmosphere, is we're seeing some signs of our polar vortex being disrupted here. And this really starts to get going as we head through November, late November into December here. And the map I'm showing us here is showing kind of some of these oranges and reds in the high latitudes up into Canada and to the Arctic here. And there are plenty of signals here that our polar vortex is going to break down. So instead of the polar vortex keeping all that cold air locked up to the north, it's going to weaken, and that cold air is anticipated to spill south. And that pattern change likely occurs near Thanksgiving, I think kind of last couple of days of November, first couple of days of December, and that's when we start to gradually work into a colder pattern here. You can see from about November 25th through December 8th here, I think we're talking about a colder pattern here. And to be honest, I think it has some stopping power as we even head into December here. You can see the December outlook as a whole here. If you go to the next map here, really features some below normal temperatures. In fact, I think it's much below normal for a lot of the, let's call it the northern 2/3 of the U.S. here. I think if there's a risk with anything with this map, I'm concerned that even the much below normal can drift towards areas like a New York City and a Boston here. And, you know, I think this type of pattern, as the cold air comes into the picture, can offer up one, precipitation, but obviously this precipitation is going to be that of in a colder pattern regime here. So this December upcoming here, I think can really be one to remember. I think it could be very cold and snowy, especially if you're in that area in green there. I think there can be some really good snow systems here as we head into December here. And certainly could be a snowy type of pattern here across the northern tier of the U.S. And maybe we even have a white Christmas here as well.
Okay, I'm okay with the white Christmas. I am out on the cold. Thank you, Matt. Well, Michelle Rook took a deep dive into the chaos in the cattle markets, but most economists say we haven't even started to rebuild this cattle herd yet, and these historic cattle prices could stick around through the end of the decade. And that is our marketing discussion from right here at the Missouri Governor's Conference on Agriculture, where we have Oklahoma State's Darrell Peel, Lance Zimmerman of Rabo Agri-Finance, and Brian Wiggin of University of Missouri joining me next.
You're watching U.S. Farm Report. Trusted, timely, tradition.